Hey everybody, welcome to the Book Nook. Today we're going to be doing the book acquiring tag. I was tagged by Man with a Hat Who Reads, who is a fantastic booktuber if you haven't checked him out yet. He has very similar book tastes to what I read. So like fantasy, horror, fiction, kind of a little bit like variety all over the place. And his videos are always enjoyable to watch. You should definitely go check him out. I'll have his channel link down below. Let's kick it off with the book acquiring tag. Question number 1. Do you plan your book purchases ahead or impulse buy? Well, I would say a little bit of both. You know, sometimes like if there's an author I really love, I will probably want to buy their book, so that's pre-planned. And then impulse, you know, I've been at like, in Michigan we have stores called Meijer, which is kind of like the Walmart. And, you know, I'll look in the book section and, you know, every once in a while I'll grab a book and impulse buy. I mean, who doesn't do that? If you love books, you will probably at some point impulse buy a book that maybe you've heard about or heard some buzz, or the cover just is beautiful and you're like, I need this. It's just like going to the freaking grocery store and they have all the stuff up front with like the candy and the gum. And you're like, watermelon mango gum? Let's try it. I don't know, you know. Question number 2 is, how do you decide what to buy? I mean, I'm kind of like one of those whatever strikes my fancy. And I'll go in like phases too, when I'm like super into horror, super into fantasy, super into historical horror or historical fantasy fiction, whatever. Like whatever, I guess you would call me what they call a mood reader. It's that. Also, as I said before, like if there's an author that I love that has a new book coming out, I'm gonna get it and read it. So that definitely plays into the decision. Also, Booktube has really influenced me. Some of the people I watch, like there's so many fantastic booktubers and they have all these book suggestions and I'm like, I need to read that and that and that and that, and I can't always read them all, but I have read some really fantastic books and bought some really fantastic books because of booktubers. And my book buying has definitely increased. I still get a good chunk of my books from the library, but I've definitely been purchasing more books. All right, question number 3. What is your philosophy on where you shop? Online versus in person, large versus small, physical, digital, or audio, new or used, etc. That's like a mouthful of a freaking question. So my philosophy on where I shop. A lot of times, I like I said, I get the main chunk of my books from the library. If I can't get it from the library, I have been recently using bookshop.org, and they have like, the great thing about them, this is not an ad, when you purchase it, you can choose what indie bookstores you would like some of that purchase to go to, which I think is super great. I like to use bookshop.org because it goes to the indie bookstores and I want to support that. It's like shopping local, you know? Support your locals. I tend to like physical. I do get some digital books, and then I don't do a whole lot of audiobooks. For audio stuff, I listen to some podcasts, but I don't really listen to audiobooks. I don't know why. I just never have gotten too into them. I will also buy used books. Like if I go to Salvation Army and I see something that looks good, I will get that. I also will always try to hit up my library sale that they have every year. Like books are like 75 cents or $1. You cannot beat that. So I do like to buy used books. So I try to buy either used, get it at the library, or support like the local indies. And if I can't find it on there, my last resort is Amazon. Like there was a book recently called The Winter Garden, and I don't think it was released in the US. I couldn't get it on Bookshop. They didn't have it anywhere else that I could find except for Amazon, so I had to buy it on Amazon. But that was honestly my last resort. So, I don't know, that was a bunch of rambling words, and I'm not sure that summed it up, but that's how, I mean, the question was pretty rambling, so that's my answer. Yeah. Next question, number 4. What about free little libraries? What do you think about them? Have you used one? Why or why not? I think they're awesome. I do usually donate most of my books to the library or to Salvation Army, But I have a couple. We just moved recently, and there's a couple that are by my house that I want to go to. And there's one that's like by a nature trail, so I want to take some books and see if they have anything in there. I think it's an awesome thing that maybe people who can't afford books or wouldn't, normally go seeking them out might be like, oh, hey, cool, and like pick up a book and read. Like anything that's going to influence people to read, yes, please. Yes. I don't know. Like sometimes I'm like, it would be cool if I built my own, because especially as being part of Booktube and consuming more books, like there's definitely, I read it and I'm like, do I want this? Do I want to keep this? I try to turn over a lot of books so that I don't always have like a ton in my house. Right now I got a bunch of books we're going to donate. I do have 2 bookshelves full of books. One day we'll do a bookshelf tour, and I need to buy one more bookshelf. And once that is full, I want to keep the rotation so that I donate and only keep what's on those books. Most of the books I end up keeping are something I think I'll read again, and all my paranormal weird books. I definitely keep all of those. Question number 5. How do you feel after acquiring a book? Do you share, like in book hauls or a diary? Well, I mean, it's like with any new thing you get, it's exciting, right? I feel good. It's like buying a new pair of shoes or anything new. It's exciting when you get something new, especially if it's a book you've been looking forward to. And then do I share it? Hello. Hi, my name is Sin, and I am a booktuber sharing my love of books with you beautiful people here on the interwebs. I don't write about it in a diary. I see all these booktubers too. Sometimes we'll do these like beautiful book journals with like the washi tape and the stickers and all that. I don't know what they're actually called, and I think that's awesome. But I think my attention span, I don't know if it will allow me to do that. Maybe, I don't know. Possibly. How do you feel looking at your books that haven't been read? Does it matter if it is currently a lot or a little amount? When I look at them and I see that they haven't been read, I kind of like mentally organize them in my mind of the order I'm going to read them in. I'm like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. I keep a planner, and I write my planner like what I want to do each day. I keep all my YouTube stuff, like what I'm posting here, what I'm posting there, what books I want to read. I look at them in an organizational manner. As I've said before, I keep talking about the library, but I get most of my books at the library, so I try not to go overboard and get only what I can read in that amount of time, but I don't always stick to that, because let's be honest, like I'm just like it's like when your eyes are bigger than your stomach, when you're like, oh yeah, big bowl of spaghetti or lasagna. Books. That book looks good. I heard about that one. I need that one. So sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. That's a feeling I get sometimes. I'm like, oh, how am I going to read all these? Where's the time of the day? I need more time. So I guess that's my answer. I mentally organize and sometimes get overwhelmed. And excited. Excited to read them. The possibilities and the new worlds that are in these books. I look forward to checking them out. And I guess this next question is kind of part of this other question I just said. How do you decide what number of books is the right amount? I don't know. That question kind of annoys me. What do you mean how do I decide? I don't know how to decide that. Do you? Does anyone know how to decide? If you guys know, you tell me, because I don't know how to decide what the right number of books is. Can there possibly be a right number? Number 8. Do you have a TBR game or process for reading them? I am a mood reader, and I kind of look at them and I'm like, I want to read that first, this, and this. And the only thing that would influence me to do it in a faster amount of time, like last month was Asian Readathon, so obviously I was going to read those authors first over books that were not Asian authors. And then doing a buddy read, sticking to a schedule with that, but otherwise it's totally like what I kind of feel like reading. Next question. Do you have a book buying problem? If so, what is the nature of it? And can it be adjusted? If you are on Booktube, you probably have a book buying problem. I mean, I don't want to call it a problem. It's a good problem to have, I think. I mean, there are a lot of like crappy things I could be buying. I'm buying books. It helps to exercise my brain. It creates empathy. It takes you to different worlds. When the world outside is falling apart, you can just go into a book and escape as the world crumbles around outside. Help. So what is the nature of my book buying problem? I don't know. People say books are good, and if I can't get it at the library, I will buy it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's a problem. I mean, I'm not sitting in a room and I can't like see through the books. I'm not walking through piles of them winding through my house. Like, I do have, you know, my bookshelves are full, and then I have a ton in the bedroom, and then there's like random books throughout the house, but it's not so overwhelming that they're just piled everywhere. So if the house isn't looking like a hoarder's, I don't think I have a problem. Maybe I do. I don't know. Can it be adjusted? No. I don't think so. All right, and then I'm supposed to tag people to do this. So I say this every time. You got stuff going on. I don't want to tag people, but if you enjoyed this tag and you think it's something you'd like to do, then go ahead, tag your it, and do this video. And then this is not a question, but it's on this list of stuff, so I'm going to read it too. It says, know that you are awesome, just as you are. Being a book lover is amazing. And it is. It really is. If you guys like tag videos, I will have another one right here when this video ends, if you want to check it out. So thank you everyone so much for joining me in the Book Nook today. If you had fun hanging out, boop that like button. Come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things. Doo-dah, doo-dah. We'll talk about more bookish things, and I'll be weird. So until next time, we'll see you later.